Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, Jason.
Hello.
Hey, Dan.
Hey.
We have 4 people on the AudBalls.
It's a record. This is a record in person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, we did have Trent Swick and Jackson Parsons, but it was virtual, so it doesn't count.
Welcome to the AudPod, where we're talking Kitchener-Rangers hockey with the OudBalls themselves, Andrew and Justin. Take it away, fellas.
Yeah, they will come back.
Yeah. So, as you probably all know, Dan and Jason are the Rogers TV commentators?
Yes.
Is that what you go by? Is that the professional term?
Is that
that would be the professional term.
Jason does the play-by-play. Dan does the. Do they still call it color commentary?
They do.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Fun and educational.
Yeah. You like it to learn.
if you read at a third grade level?
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you guys for coming on the pod.
Thanks
for
for having
having
us.
us.
Rangers are OHL champions.
I know that is that's amazing, but I mean, you could see this team since the second half of the season after really those big trades they made with London and Erie, and to go 16-2 in the postseason was an impressive feat, and they really dominated their way through. They had some adversity, but they got her done.
Not to mention 10-0 at home in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
That's an unreal run, and I
Yeah.
love UC's comment at the pep rally or send-off, if you will, that the 6th player on the ice, Rangers Nation, absolutely accurate. That place was rocking all through the playoffs.
Yeah, it
really
was.
was.
I was going to ask you guys about that. Like, you've been at the game. You've been at the, how long have you guys been covering the Rangers now?
I've been doing the commentary for the Rangers. I started at color, what Dan was doing, and then moved over a few seasons ago. So it's 2019-20. So my first season was the pandemic season.
Cool.
3 games before the season ended, they called it quits, and that was another good Rangers team, too.
I think this is my 5th or 6th season
Yeah,
with you, and then I did a couple seasons prior to the pandemic with Ryan Kovarik. Yeah.
So what was louder, game 2 of the finals or the pandemic year? Like,
Definitely.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
But have you ever heard the odd like this loud through these playoffs? Like this is one of those energy
No.
buildings that I've never experienced before.
It's got to go back to the previous Mem Cup years.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And they
right.
mentioned that 2012 was the previous attendance high. It's got to be in that time period.
Yeah, definitely the loudest I've heard it. Like, I still watch back that Carson Campbell game tying goal in Game 5 against Windsor, and just the eruption from the crowd.
Oh man,
It's like just runs right through you. It's it was really special to be a part of too.
yeah.
Yeah,
I bet.
Well, and I mean, and you called 3 rounds, right? So it was you're kind of perched up there, so you get to see that full crowd reaction going just like absolute berserk when a goal is scored, right?
Yeah.
Contrast to that, were you in the building for the final?
Yeah, I was there for games 1 and 2.
Okay,
We're both
We're
there.
both there,
you're
yeah.
both there. Yeah. Okay.
Well, Dan left early for game 1. Had
Oh!
had some
Fraud pod.
breaking
some Bob
news.
Vila
Fraud
stuff
pod.
he had to take care of here.
It wasn't beat the traffic lever.
No, he wasn't like some of
This
those
whole maintenance
some of those
issue.
fans that we see. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, we gotta
The
leave. I'm
traffic.
like,
Home
it's a
maintenance
1-goal
issue.
game.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, no, I understand. But so you were there kind of more as a fan than
Absolutely.
in the final.
Yeah.
So what was that experience like all of a sudden? Not, was the voice in your head going a little
Yes.
bit?
We were joking about
Yeah.
that a little bit, too.
It
at
was
one point.
weird. Like, we were sitting kind of where the media is, and McNeil scored the first goal of the OHL final. I legit went, yes! And I'm like, I know I'm not supposed to do that, but I can't help myself right now. And we're in a section near a lot of Barrie people, too. So I was like, I want to let them know that you're in the wrong building. But even Josh Sweetland, the head of the OHL communications, was like, is it weird for you being here and not calling the game? I'm like, it's bizarre to watch hockey and not being like, oh, this is what's happening on the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple moments there, too. We usually have a little fist bump or high fives during the course of the game when we're calling it, but we're just super silent, right?
Yeah.
But for those moments, I'm like, oh, we can actually be vocal here a little bit,
Yeah.
But you're in press role. You got to, maintain some sort of decorum there. There's always that, unwritten rule.
Yeah.
But
We blur the lines of that, I think, a little bit for everyone. So
I mean, we've talked on this podcast about like the fact that you guys actually do a far. I don't want to call anybody out.
Whoa.
London, but you guys do a far better job at keeping it like above, like you know that your broadcast is for both is for both teams.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and you keep it in a way that is like, you know, obviously you're the Rangers commentary team.
Yeah.
But you both also like know that you have to, that when you're speaking and when you're doing the game, it is for everybody. So you
Yeah.
keep it very broad and open to both teams.
I think we do
Yeah.
our best not to be complete
Yeah.
homers at
Yeah,
the end of
yeah.
the day.
Yes.
So, yeah, we definitely try to intersperse more of the visiting team. And you know, from a hockey fan perspective, I think most want to learn more about the opposition, right? Just a
Yes.
little bit. But yeah, we're there
Yeah.
to, you know, support the Rangers in a lot of ways.
We've
or
always-
most ways.
I think both of us grew up like wanting to not be the biased broadcast team or anything like that. And I think we do a real good job of making sure we're open and honest. Like there's times where it's like we have to call out the Rangers for like that was a bad play, that was a bad
Yeah,
penalty,
right.
but it's like you have to do your eyes aren't fooling you, anyone else. so.
Sure.
I think you lose respect if
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah,
quite
exactly.
frankly, right? So
Yeah. London.
And there's a lot of great teams in this league. You know, some do it differently. Like when we were watching that Sioux series, like very meat and potatoes. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's terrible." I'm like, "No, they're good. They just do it in a different style."
Totally.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, no, there's different styles, right? Obviously,
Yep.
and there's different kind of nuance, and there's different like characters on every broadcast, and I think that's what makes the league special, and that's what I really like about the league is I would find it much like, and as much respect as I have for the three individuals that they chose to put on there, I'm not dragging them in the least because they were put there, they were selected there, they're good at their jobs. The thing that I like about when teams are playing each other in this league is that they have a dedicated commentary team.
Yeah.
And you just get that little bit of like, this is Kitchener.
Yeah.
This is Owen Sound.
Yeah.
This is Flint. This is, Saginaw. Like you get a piece of that. And I kind of felt like it was a little bit more corporate, a little bit more TSN geared,
Yeah.
right? And I mean, I don't want to say like I don't want to pick out a wound. From that perspective, can we just talk a little bit about like, you're now watching like the away games, you're watching somebody else do it. What was that feeling like?
There were times that were tough, obviously, because like we know Kitchener very well, and obviously we don't know Barrie as much because we only see them once a year here, and then we play one other game in Barrie. But it's definitely unfortunate. But those guys were put in a tough spot too, where they're not even following the OHL to begin with, and they're put in there, have to erase the numbers they know and things like that. And I thought they did a decent enough job making the game seem well, but it would have been nice to be a part of it because, as you said, I do like the feel of the OHL where this is the Kitchener crew, this is the Barrie crew, nice flavor. And I know the Barrie guys, they were more on radio this time, which was great for their audience, and they do a great job. Well, I think it's From the Booth with Mike is the channel. He streamed his audio stuff on his YouTube channel, which I thought was a great
Really cool.
marketing plan for him. But yeah, it would have been nice to obviously be a part of it.
Of course.
But that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, money talks, obviously, with TSN having the rights from the finals across the board and for the Mem Cup. And yeah, I think they did as good as a job as you'd expect someone to do to be dropped in for finals. A lot of stuff you could argue was more surface level, but how much can you do when you've got other jobs before you go into this series versus the local broadcasters have that, insider's perspective. You've got those stories that you've become, familiar with with the rest of the season, with the players, with the coaching staff.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say though, hearing from the Ranger fans of like, gosh, we wish you were out there. Like that meant a lot because like I don't know how many people actually watch the broadcast, or most feedback you get on anything today is like, this sucks, this is terrible. To actually get like, we miss you guys. Like you guys bring a lot to our games. Or I had some people reach out like, you get me and my son up when we're not at the Aud.
Right.
Like, that means the world to me. And so that people actually like what we do. We're not just wasting a Friday or a Sunday afternoon to bring you a game.
And yeah, I think Sean's brought up a couple of times, and it's I think a credit to the three of us. What we bring to the broadcast is fans will PVR the game or record it and go back home after being at the Aud and rewatch it. Maybe they catch something they didn't miss, and just to get our commentary and thoughts too, to add another layer to their Rangers fandom or experience, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And your intermissions are great too. Like the information that you get. That's sort of what Andrew was saying as well, is like when you watch these local broadcasts, you actually learn about what's important to the community around that team, which I think is cool. And I know that you guys do that really well. Like that is one thing that I particularly enjoy.
The feeling's definitely mutual. We love catching up on all things Rangers with you guys too. So the work you've been doing in a short period of time, it's been awesome. So kudos to both of you guys for the time and effort. Really, it's
Especially
been
for
great
a couple
to see.
guys from Alberta.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I will. Thank you, by the way, for
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
that. But it is funny. There's a little bit of an imposter syndrome, especially having them win. You know what I mean? Because this is the thing is like it's not if a team goes out in the second round or goes out in the third round or whatever, you go on a little bit of a run and you're doing a podcast and you're having fun. They go all the way and win, and the team like literally includes you. You're kind of like, well, I only been here 2.5 years. You know what I mean? And you're like, and I don't want to seem like I didn't earn this and I didn't sit through 18 years of not getting it. You know what I mean? But it's just the timing of it. It was a perfect time, perfect storm for us and for the Rangers.
I was joking with Josh Piercy, color on the radio side with Farwell, and it's his first season. And come on, like you come in and you're going to the Mem Cup, talking about a whirlwind year.
Wasn't he a part of a winning team like last year too?
I think there is a backstory to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember what it was, but he's like wherever he goes,
I think
win.
he's like 3 for 3.
Yeah.
I think he was a part of a winning team where he first started as well. So
Wow.
like
good luck charm.
Yeah.
Good luck,
Josh
charm.
Piercy.
Something that Newfoundland heritage.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, back to the Rangers.
Right.
We are a Rangers fan podcast, so we got to get back to that. A couple things. Some have already been mentioned, but the Rangers played 18 games to win the OHL champion. Just in case anyone was unaware, to win the OHL championship, they went to OT 5 times, twice in the finals, 10-0 at home. Their PK was 88.7%, power play 30%. They've finished the playoffs winning 6 in a row, a plus 30 goal differential. And then they swept the final. Like who called sweeping the final?
I
Like,
said Kitchener in 5, so I was close, but
that's pretty
Yeah.
close. Yeah. I think I said 6.
I
Like,
was gonna be inclined to give Barry a 1, if not 2,
Yeah.
potentially,
Yeah.
but just because of how long of a slog it is, but not a sweep for sure.
yeah. So it's like winning. I think it's sometimes underappreciated how hard it is to sweep a final, because it's like, yeah, maybe you're the strongest team in your conference, but there's a whole other conference of tough teams.
And you don't really get to see them.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it on the preview episodes that like the team that played against each other in Barrie and in Kitchener, those 2 times they played during the season, was completely different. Like you're not using any of that footage.
Yeah.
Like that footage is not teaching you the systems because the team completely changed. The Rangers had a different top line. The entire top line was different.
What's crazy is last time they played before the OHL was January 2nd. They hadn't even made the Sam O'Reilly 4 days before the trade with London.
Yeah.
Like
like Kirsch was in World Juniors.
Kirsch was in World
and
Junior. Joswell played for Barrie and net. Like not even
right.
Ben Harebic played.
Yeah.
Like it was.
Reed was gone.
Yeah.
Like,
But those 2 games that they played in the regular season were close too. It
Yes,
was
they
a
were.
overtime win, I think, for Kitchener in Barrie, or maybe the other way around, and then Barrie won in a shootout here in Kitchener.
yes. Yeah.
So it was like, okay, maybe it was those teams were eventually, but as we were saying, like 4 days before the Sam O'Reilly trade when they met in the regular season, totally different teams.
Yeah.
And Barrie loaded up too. They made some good moves as well.
Yeah, huge moves
They
for
certainly
sure.
did. Yeah, they were a powerhouse. I mean, obviously they also had probably the hottest goalie going, right? So it could have been anything. Like when we were talking about who do you want, Barrie or Brantford, and we were talking with like one of our friends of the pod, Josh. He was saying that like, well, I don't know, like that goalie in Barrie, and you never know. And it hadn't even been decided yet.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, like I was like, well, I prefer Barrie because I worry about that Brantford getting going shot for shot. You start playing that like let's just shoot the lights out kind of thing, and then anything can happen.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think that we got to see probably the closest sweep I've ever seen in my life. I don't know, like. Right, like for a sweep, it was all the games were close.
Yeah, there wasn't one game that was a blowout. I mean, Barrie could have taken games 2 and 3 when they forced the overtime. Like they had the momentum going in. It was like, but once they got those tying goals late, it was kind of like they ran out of gas, and Kitchener had all the fuel heading into those extra frames.
Especially when Harebic made that 54 saves in game 2, I guess.
Game 2, yeah.
And if he was going to steal one, and sometimes you see that in a playoff run, goaltender steals one for you. And
that was game 6 against Brantford for Barrie.
Exactly
right. Almost the exact same
He
thing.
54 saves again in that one.
He had a 40 save shutout in the game 7 against Brantford.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that
That was like a freakish run for that guy. Yeah.
And he played unbelievable against Kitchener too. Like he
stood on his head. Absolutely.
All 4 of those games could have been blowouts for Kitchener.
Yeah.
The way that they were putting shots against
And
them.
I throw in even just the missing Cole Baudouin too.
Yes.
How much
Yeah.
that could have been,
And
a difference maker too in the series.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And he was the leading scorer, I think,
Right.
even when it
Yeah.
wrapped up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even after the
Yeah.
last series, he was still leading the OHL in points. So
Yep.
yeah, but it was still fun. It was still fun.
Absolutely.
It was.
And it's still going to be fun.
It doesn't take away from how great the
No,
Rangers
the
were
Rangers
in
are
that
still
final.
pretty
Yeah, I
freaking
know, I know.
awesome.
It wasn't any less fun when they scored to the empty net goal to win Game 4. It wasn't any less. Like we were. Had it been an overtime Game 7, I reacted the same. It
Yeah.
was still that like it's happening.
Yeah.
And as a Flames fan and an Oilers fan, we're so starved for what we just experienced. Yeah.
Yeah. Any worries about Rangers Nation worrying about our credentials of losing for
Yes.
long periods of time? We're good.
We're good. We're good.
It's true. Like that's how I felt. Like I don't know how to take this winning. I'm a Buffalo Bill fan.
Yeah.
I'm used to just losing and having heartbreak.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
was like, oh, this is what it feels like to win. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Long-suffering Leafs fan over here too. So kind of in the
Yeah.
same boat.
Yeah.
Let's talk some of our 3 stars of the playoffs.
Okay.
Ooh.
Like it.
Playoffs,
Yep.
not just the finals.
Okay.
The whole playoffs. Andrew, I'm going to make you go first with 3rd star.
My 3rd star.
Yeah.
It's tough because like I've just got to. I went back and forth about making him the 2nd star, but the 3rd star for me is Cameron Reid. I thought that there was probably a lot that we didn't see that Cameron Reid was doing that contributed to this win, like behind the scenes in the locker room. But just because he's such an incredible presence, you talk to him and it's just like, wow, this is a professional hockey player. Like this is the utmost professionalism. And oh, man, just like there's this one play that I'll just where he's battling against along the boards to get the puck in, and then he passes it. He doesn't even factor in on the goal.
Yeah.
But it was the Carson Campbell goal where Pridham went behind the net and passed it out, and I think it was actually like
It was for Romano and it
Yes!
hopped over his stick.
It hopped
and
over
I
his
thought
stick.
when that puck missed Romano, like they missed their chance. And he came right to Carson. and
exactly.
scored.
But on that play, like that's just such like it'll stand out as one of the plays of the year for me. And Cameron, like he can't even get, we call it Apple of the Year. He can't even get Apple of the Year on that play.
No.
And it's like it was just such a gutsy play, and that was him the whole time because he's also like that finesse player, and he can also do like those Allen Iverson crossover moves at the blue line and just make people look so silly, right?
I just think about how much like he was skating, like how hard he was skating to win pucks, keep pucks in the zone, do whatever it took. Like he really took the C on my sweater really personally. I have to lead by example what I'm doing on the ice, and I'm also thinking about his goal against Saginaw in Game 1 where I don't even know how he got that puck in, but his celebration was perfect because it was looking bleak there for a little bit. That Kitchener was going to lose that first game of the playoffs.
Yep.
And we haven't even brought up the potential offside controversy.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. Game 1 against Windsor.
Yeah.
Good hands, Cam Reid. Kept that puck on
Exactly.
side.
He was on side.
He
man.
was on side.
That's
I'm not
as far
arguing
as I saw
otherwise.
it. Yeah. I looked
I
at
saw
a few different
nothing.
angles. Especially the frame that kudos to the Rogers TV broadcast, the frame that you guys posited at for sure on side.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 frames later, it was pretty close. But yeah, I appreciated it. Yeah. Silence the haters at least a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cam Reid just on another level. It's just he's so mature. I've said like
Yeah.
so many times beyond his years in terms of his maturity level, and Nashville's got a special one for sure in their system
even
too.
when he was,
It's
like-
easy to root for too, right?
Oh yeah.
From being 16 on to now, like he was like a 30-year-old in a teenager's body at that point.
100%.
And just watching him grow, even get better and better, and thrive in being the captain.
To me, he's a throwback in
Yeah.
a lot of ways too. Just well spoken and just sees the game so well. And obviously, we spoke to his skill level and what he does on the ice. It's just such a well-rounded hockey player, man. As a Leafs fan, again, I'm jealous as Nashville's got him.
I know.
Because God knows we need help on the blue line.
Yeah. All right, and you guys actually, I don't know if everybody knows this, but you guys actually do the 3 stars at the end of the game.
we do.
So these are official.
These are official 3 stars.
Don't tell Farwell.
Don't tell the group chat. Don't tell the WhatsApp chat.
So it's my turn for my third stars.
Who's your third star?
I'm going to give it to Christian Kirsch.
Nice.
Nice.
First.
That'd be.
Yeah, there he is.
That'd be.
First go around in the OHL playoffs, and he took some heat during the course of the regular season because there were some spells where maybe fans were looking to maybe Jason Schaubel taking over the number 1A position. But man, that guy just battles through so many situations, and he showed it through the playoffs again. Timely saves when they needed it. Goals against average maybe a little higher than you'd expect him to be, but it's the time of year where when you make key saves in key moments, he was the leader in that respect, in my opinion. It's so many times momentum was shifting. The Rangers were maybe a little flat-footed and just caught up scrambling a little bit, but he was the guy just, Mr. Calm and confident in the crease, and that's what makes him number 3 for me.
And as well as he played so well in the OHL final, where I think maybe a lot of Rangers fans had some doubts, like, oh, we're against Ben Hrebeck. Barry's got the big goalie advantage, and we obviously just went over the credentials of what Ben Hrebeck did. But you look at what Christian Kirsch did in Game 4. He made some massive saves in overtime. Well,
you mentioned the PK too being so good. Yeah. One big reason why Windsor was 1 for 25 on the power play in that series was because of their goaltender.
Of course, yeah.
So
and I think you point, if you want to point to those 2 late goals, he's doing literally everything in his power, and with a man advantage and a 2-man advantage in one instance.
Game 2,
the absolute most physically gifted player on the ice beat him in with seconds remaining. And I mean, Aitchison is played all world. At least in those moments offensively, that's the exact guy that you want launching that puck, right? It's like, do you want Michael Jordan taking the last shot of the game? They drew that up to perfection. I didn't think that he was choking away a lead. And I never felt like he was rattled by those goals. We went right into overtime, and I was like, no, he's got it. He's
fine.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Or it was either
don't break is what we've always been saying.
Or he would give up a goal on the first shot, and sometimes he's just like a boxer, needs to get knocked or get punched or knocked down, and then I'm in the game, I'm ready to go. And that's
sometimes that was the best thing for the Rangers was that early goal against.
Totally.
Gets them in the game.
And then they all kind of stepped it up, and that was usually their better game.
But that's been their MO all season, the resiliency, right? I mean, in previous years, you're like, oh, they're behind the 8 ball. This is going to be a bit of a slog, but even so, it's, they don't take long to push back, and that pushback, I think, helped ultimately in terms of supporting their goaltender, and he fed off that.
Yeah, and the team bought into him. There's a lot of fans I don't know about him. And I mean, I know it's tough coming off, OHL and CHL
Jackson
goalie
Parsons.
of the year. But the game he had in Ottawa where he shut out the 67s and made a regular, that's he won me over from that point on.
Yeah.
Don't get off this guy. He's a gamer. He's got a good team in front of him, and he proved it the rest of the way through. And I couldn't believe the fans quit, get rid of him, go move someone. I'm like, calm down.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. Yeah. And it was.
Yeah.
It's playoff hockey, and he's lost 1 game going into the 3rd round.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did the OHL put out that he's just the second European netminder in the last 2 decades or so to win an OHL?
Yeah. Oh, really?
27.
Was the other one, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, another feather in his cap, I think, too.
Good for him.
No, he played at an elite level.
Yeah. All right. I asked you your 3rd star. I'm not used to 4 people.
My 3rd star, honestly, how about we give some love for Carson Campbell, who I honestly thought was the backbone.
You're not worthy.
Yeah. The backbone and the glue of this Kitchen Rangers defense. We can sing the praises of what Cam Reed did. We can sing the praises of, Jared Woolley and Matt Antonovsky coming back. But Carson Campbell, played so hard every single game. You could see how much it meant to him, and then he found his scoring touch.
Best hockey of his career.
Yeah, it was
at the perfect time.
I told Carson after they won the Western Conference, I never thought you'd score a goal again, because all he would do
we called him the Zamboni band after that one.
Yeah, he'd just ring post off, pucks off the post. I'm like, he's a great defenseman, but he'll never score. And then he scored the tying goal against Windsor, and it just became this goal scoring machine in the OHL final. I was I don't know where this came from, but I'm okay with it, Carson. Better late than never.
The confidence level, and you could see that he was starting to look for these opportunities to jump up and do it, and then he was still in position, because he's always in position.
He's always in position.
That position, that moment, talking about the Cam Reed moment along the boards, that moment where he breaks up the 2-on-1 in overtime.
Oh my goodness.
With the oh man,
Just laying out for that one.
Carson
What
Campbell.
a poke check. It's like that's a.
I thought I was down and out on that one.
That's a ballsy
Same.
play.
We
I'm like,
were-
oh, he's beat. We're gonna give up the goal.
We
here.
were on that blue line, and I was like, it was literally like, it's the end of the game. You know what I mean? Like, and then it didn't even formulate because he poke checked like you know, pretty early
flying
in that,
through
like,
the air.
Unreal.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to
Phenomenal.
Carson.
Yeah.
I mean, a southpaw as well, doing
Yeah.
some sparring at the Muay Thai gym I go to, Dark Side Muay Thai here in Kitchener. But he's
Not sponsored.
He's definitely not a sponsor, but he's definitely
But open to it.
he took some players to the dark side with some physicality with his
Yes.
hits. Like, I mean, I was so happy for Carson too, because that guy laid it on the line last year in the Windsor
Yes.
series, had to miss the Western Conference final, and you could see Kitchener really missed his presence,
Mm-hmm.
but healthy all year through, or since coming back in beginning of November, but like amazing guy, and just I couldn't be more happy for his play the rest of the.
I think there's got to
postseason.
be at least one team out there to take a flyer on him and
How do
sign
you
him to.
not?
Yeah,
How do you-
exactly. Sign him
how
to
do
the
you
pro
not?
deal, right?
He's like the young Chris Tanev.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
like he's the guy you want on your team, and
Yeah.
maybe you're not going to remember everything about him, but he's amazing.
You will never ever complain about a guy just blocking 8 shots a game. Like
Okay, my third star is Windsor's majority owner, Luke Ellenez.
I love how you phrase it.
Love it. Yeah. I mean, he only played 5 games, but he was so important to this
Yeah.
team when he came in. Like,
The boogeyman for
The
Windsor.
boogeyman,
oh
truly.
man, totally.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he just like he knows how to ignite this team in a way that we are not used to.
How much did you love the fact that UC started him on the 4th line
Yeah.
in that return? And, you inevitably saw it being the case that, okay, as the game progresses,
yeah.
as he gets his feet wet, finds his stride, then within a couple shifts, he's on the top line, right?
Yeah,
So
within a period. By the
Yeah.
second period, he was back on the top line.
I kind of looked over at Jason at that point, just kind of give a knowing nod. I'm like,
Yeah.
I think we all expected that,
Yeah.
or
And-
something close to that.
And then he moved up and down the lineup like
He played
as was
wherever he
needed.
needed, yeah.
like during the Barrie series, like he played with like probably the whole team at
Yeah.
different points. Like he played with everybody.
Yeah.
He's a beauty, and he's another guy that talk about glue, talk about just character player, and just unselfish too, right?
Yeah.
But he finds the way to just kind of grind through, and he definitely had to grind this year, having to deal with that surgery and rehab and everything too, and to stay as I'm sure there were lows, but to stay as positive he did for the long-term goal and have that opportunity now is pretty cool.
The fact that we got to see him again
Yeah.
this season
Yeah, he gets-
is phenomenal.
And
gets to play in the Mem
immediately
Cup now.
scores
Yeah.
a huge goal.
a huge
Like,
goal.
Oh, a goal that they need. They were down 3-0.
Yeah,
right.
right. And it's funny because it's those like little symbolic things that like only as somebody who follows the team you would know that when he scored that I was like, oh, they're winning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it was Luke Ellenez.
Yeah.
I was like the guy who hasn't played all year, most of the year. He's back and he's the guy who finished them off. I was like, oh, it's all happening.
He's ruining
There's
them again.
Too much time. Too much time.
But shout out Rangers Nation. I don't know if you guys noticed it too, but that first game back, that very first shift, they gave him it's almost a standing O. It was a pretty loud cheer, and just goes to show how knowledgeable the Rangers fan base is to acknowledge just something, as simple as that, if for lack of a better word. But in that moment in time, you just get the sense of appreciation they have for Luke Ellenez. It's pretty cool.
Maybe underrated. Maybe the best style on the Kitchen Rangers team.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Oh
glasses.
yeah, those glasses,
Incredible.
the smartest style
The-
for sure.
the
Best
accountant, Luke
playoff
Ellenez.
beard on the
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
no lie.
Secretly, what do you guys call him in the behind his back?
Yeah. We'll stick with Boogeyman.
Yeah. We call him the professor.
Yeah.
So
Very scholarly. Yes.
Yeah, he's schooled the Spitfires.
yeah, he's going to Spitfires. Nice. All right, Andrew, who's your second star?
All right, I'll stay away from the more obvious ones because I think I know who the second and first star could easily be in this run.
Mhm.
But I have to single out the coaching staff. I think that the coaches outcoach some pretty incredible hockey minds during the run, especially against Windsor. I thought that series was going to go 6 or 7 for sure.
Yeah.
I knew Windsor was a good team. I knew they had, they didn't have as much depth perhaps maybe as last year, but I felt like there was such a bone to pick with the Rangers for the previous 2 years, the playoffs, that they were just going to push. And I felt like between line matching and then also having to go to Windsor and not having the line matching and just having, that, like you said, like that kind of like that crazy checkmate move of being like, Lou Gallen is, we're putting him in the lineup tonight, and we're going to start him on the fourth line and whatever. But also, we saw it in the final, too. I felt like they kept that Rangers squad just composed. To have them come out and play the way they did in those overtimes after Aitchison scored literally last second goals twice. Like what a handle you have on these young men, because that's what they are. They're like UC says, young boys, right? Like it's to have
boys
them
will be boys.
to have them to have them compose like that is like, that's crazy, because they came out like it was like all new fresh sheet of ice. That didn't just happen.
Yeah.
Because you see professional teams where it's like, that just happened again.
Well, and I think the other thing, too, is like this was a year UC coached the Rangers with actual expectations. The first 2 years was like, we're maybe making the playoffs. And then the year after that, same thing. We got to a conference final. This year's like, this team could maybe do some damage. And then they did some damage because they won a championship. So that, I think that says a lot. When there's expectation, when there's a expectation, that adds a lot of weight to it. And he set the goal for them and they followed through.
Yeah, the building blocks were there, right? Yeah. So you saw the progression, and absolutely credit to the full coaching staff.
Yep.
The crew he's pieced together here too, with his assistants and everyone around the team, even down to the legendary Dan Liebold for making sure the players are in great shape.
With his awesome Fu Manchu.
Exactly. Which apparently I don't think he's grown a Fu Manchu in the playoffs since their last Mem Cup run. I could be
that's the problem right there for Kitchen. Fu Manchu would have every late March.
He's held off on that special facial here. Maybe that's
why. Who's yours?
I was gonna say that I chose. Just to not outdo you here, Andrew.
Yeah.
I chose the coaching staff as my first star.
Okay.
Oh.
And I'm not going back on that. I'm adjustable on other things, but I'm sticking with that. And the only thing I wanted to say was, they did so much adjusting and amazing things. But the second series against the Sioux, when the Sioux was being so aggressive and they sort of had that one line where they could cause problems, and then they had the weird scheduling when they were back in the Sioux for
where we had game 4 on a Thursday and then game 5 on a Friday in Kitchener.
And the way that they are able to get that team sort of back on track, because they lost that game the night before, a lot of that could go into that. So anyways, we've said all the great things about the coaching, but I just wanted to say that was one of those other things.
The coaching staff, rest the way.
We love the coaching staff. Okay. Who's your second star?
The coaching staff. No.
That's fine.
No, it's.
You already said it.
Someone's gonna say it eventually if I don't say it now. But it's Dylan Edwards. As Jason's dubbed him in the broadcast. He's been absolutely unreal, and for an undersized kid to do what he's done in a time of year where it's such a tight checking brand of hockey too. He's just found ways, and it just seems like he's like a video game player out there too. Some of the stuff he's pulling off offensively, and
he doesn't look small either.
No,
he suddenly
he plays big, right?
Yeah, he suddenly went from being like, we've got this kind of undersized scoring forward to like in playoff time. I never once did I say like, there's a smaller guy scoring goals and stuff. It's like, no, he just became like this giant that like he was too fast and too skilled that you could see basically everyone was what is even happening to us right now? Dylan Edwards is happening.
I just hope he comes up with a better story about his scar on his forehead. I got a goalie stick in my face. Celebrating OHL Championship instead of something.
It's an amazing story. Because that jersey, like, obviously he's probably going to keep because that's the one the championship. But I'm bleeding. Looks like Terry Funk out there.
It should go in the team store.
It should
go. It actually should. The towel tied around his head.
Where he looked like a samurai warrior. I loved it.
There's like a picture of him draped in the flag.
Yeah.
And in like the Rangers flag, and he's like draped in it, and it's just like just blood all down his face. And I was like, he got it in the celebration.
But it looks like 80s hockey. What did Christian do with his goalie stick?
So he threw it up in the air, and it came right down as Dylan was celebrating. And you can actually watch on the broadcast, like, yay, and then, but he was a champion about it. And then the best part actually is he comes back to the bench and the trainers are like, "What happened?" Like,
So they're going to work. They're trying to celebrate, and we have to stitch up.
we've thrown away all the stoochers.
Yeah.
We threw them all in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that was probably one, aside from the O'Reilly and Woolley move, like that trade is just
Oh yeah.
unbelievable. And, it's just, I still think it's a travesty Mike McKenzie did not get general manager of the year, the general manager of the year award. I know, I think politics play like all sorts of awards play a factor, but to me, it's just like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here?
He hit on everything.
Yeah.
He hit on, and not only that, how many curveballs did he get? Like it was
That's
crazy.
That's the thing. It's like, hey, this year started out with Adam Valentini, and then he bailed, went to Michigan. The whole Oscar Hemming drama. Is
He's
he going to
here.
play? Is he not going to
Nope.
play? He was here.
Gone.
He was here for like the whole half and just practiced with the team. Never played. Then we lose the Mem Cup to a mall in Guelph. Like,
Yes.
I mean, what the
That's
heck?
right.
And a
It's in a
parkade.
mall.
And a
Yeah.
parkade.
Which, by the way, was in downtown Guelph last week. That's going to be fun next year for everyone.
Thank you, Sleemans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Also not sponsored.
From what,
And not open to it.
but what went so bad?
Money to spend though.
What went so bad turned out so good for Mike McKenzie. I'm thrilled for him. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming for Mike in any aspect, whether he was on the bench or now as the general manager. I couldn't even have
you
it.
got to wonder too. Like obviously, chatter around UC is like what NHL game potentially coming up for him. Like, does Mike get a pro look too because of what he's been able to do?
yeah.
Right?
There's already rumors swirling. Yeah.
There's
Oh, yeah.
already mouthpieces. Like I saw some sort of internet outlet in Boston being like Mike McKenzie, and it's funny because it's like it's that weird feeling, right, where you're like no, but you're also like, yeah, but that's the goal. That's the
I also saw that one, but they were like, I don't want anyone from the Rangers. I'm like, it's not the New York Rangers.
You saw that? Yeah.
It's not the New York Rangers, sir. But,
Almost.
It's a good reminder that the OHL is not only a developmental league for players, but it is for front office staff too.
Jason, who's your second star?
Ooh, my second star. Well, Dan took a good one there in Dylan Edwards. You know what? I mean, we've already talked about him. Cam Reed, I would say. I mean, at this point, like, who haven't we talked about other than Tex, I guess, at this
Well,
point.
Right? Well,
Well,
yeah.
you could go Ando considering the
You know
whole
what?
time
Let's
he's
give
been-
it to Ando.
Yes.
Ando came back and had the most Ando game in his first game back, had like an assist, and then got kicked out of the game. The game misconduct. I was like, this is a wild. My mom's favorite Ranger, Matt Andonovsky, by the way. And then, but watching him mature, not taking bad penalties, making big plays defensively, scores an overtime winning goal when the
was
Kitchen
so
Rangers
good.
need it in the final.
Yeah.
Like to see his maturity, I'm really excited to see his journey next year with Belleville in the AHL. So let's give it to Matt Andonovsky.
Yeah.
I love that pick.
Yeah, I mean, the Andalorian.
We love it.
A longtime fan of him on the OudPod.
And we loved the proving the haters wrong with being responsible and all that kind of thing, because we pumped up the tires pretty good with him coming back, and there was with the we didn't even mention with Mike McKenzie, the curveball of acquiring Dylan Edwards, and then Ando comes back, and then he has to move Chromiak, who everyone loved on the team, on and off the ice, right?
Yeah.
And we had people in our DMs being like, they're making the wrong decision here, and
the Facebook group let us know about
yeah,
that.
Ando's taking all the the bad penalties, and we're like, we're Ando stands, so we're like, no, it's the there's a reason why he started in Belleville. Like, there's a reason why he's drafted and he started in Belleville, and then he goes out. Gets kicked out of the game.
Gets
We were kind
immediately
of like,
ejected.
all right, well,
Yeah.
that's a little bit on us, I guess. But
No, that
he turned
AHL
it around.
experience showed in the playoffs this year for sure.
Well, I mean, just his comfort, his comfort level with carrying the puck out of his own zone was not part of his game. Like in the previous 2 years where I watched Andonovsky play, it was not a strength for him, right? Like he was lucky because he played with Brstevich, the 2 years ahead, and that was kind of like just get him the puck and let him do everything. But like last year, he had moments, he had a game winner or whatever, but like this year, you could just tell, like even in the playoffs, in the finals, he was comfortable handling the puck. He could pass it out of his own end, and he could carry it. Like he was honestly a little bit more responsible with the puck than Woolley on that tandem, right? Like that's who I wanted passing the puck, not Woolley.
I think just the fact that it was hammered home to probably with Belleville to just stick to your strengths and just play within yourself too, and it leads to playing with more confidence. Just the ease of which he was able to piece together good hockey games too. And another reason why he was, I think, Team of the Year. People were criticizing the fact that he was chosen for that award too, while he was only there for half a season. Well, you know what? The fact that he made such an impact in a limited time, I don't think that should be discredited too. At the same time,
and that award obviously goes to not just what you do on the ice. Like think about the leadership role that he's done in that team for some of the younger guys. He's probably helped make him, Cam Reed, have made Alexander Bilecki like a great defenseman for this season in the playoffs, and then for what he can do next year is going to be amazing after he gets drafted this summer. But I mean, just his maturity too. That's the big thing for me, man. And Matt wasn't trying to like run around, cause problems or anything. Like he was playing sound defensive hockey. And
he caught a couple breaks there, went a couple extra shots against the Sioux. But there are moments, but at the same time, those moments
earned calls.
The moments were lesser so, I would say,
sure.
this time around, right? He's become definitely rounded out as a hockey player.
Yeah. Oh man, he's such a beauty. Okay, I was gonna go Andalorian for my second star, so I'm gonna go with who you just mentioned, Alexander Bilecki. Having a pretty stand-up playoff series I know he's not a rookie this year, but it really felt like his rookie year, and man, is he unbelievable!
Another young boy,
another young boy,
young boy.
Yes,
he
took
played
us to the
unreal,
championship.
Right? Like it was one of those things that he's just he's very like. I think he's advanced for his age and where he is. Right. It's and not only that, like he's so aggressive, but it doesn't harm the team. Like rarely did you ever see Bilecki jump up and the wheels fell off and it went back the other way, which is usually what you see with these inexperienced offensive defensemen, is that it's like, oh, that was a great chance on its internet. It's you take the good with the bad, but you didn't really have to do much of that with Bilecki.
We saw throughout this season that he went from trying to figure out what defensively responsible looked like. You could see that he was working on that part of his game in the first couple months of the season, and then you saw the wheels click where he's like, "Oh, I could take a shot here. And I could take a pass into
the top prospects game." I think was a big thing for him. Where he really shined in that, and it's like, okay, another defenseman for Kitchener having a great performance in that game, and then he found his offensive rush too. Like I'll always think about that assist he got for Dylan Edwards in the Game 5 against, was it the Sioux? I think it was the Sioux, where he just cut through, falling down, makes a pass to Dylan Edwards at the side of the net. And I'm like, who is this? Like, wow, like, way to grow. And also, his dad, the nicest human being ever.
Totally.
Appreciate this. A Laurier grad is Mr. Bilecki. So, Mr. Bilecki's ties to the Waterloo region. Your son's in good hands.
And we are now going to see a little bump on our YouTube metrics. I know for a fact.
When we talk about Bilecki, things go up.
Mr. Bilecki is an AudPod supporter through and through.
I think we've called him Camry 2.0 just a few times, or I have at least, and I think there's a lot of comparables there. For me, it's a skating ability that's really taken another step, pun intended, I guess, or another stride this season. It's just, I think he's going to be a good pickup for any team in this coming summer's draft. You know, he's going to be a second, third round pick easily, I would say.
Steal.
100%.
Yeah.
And, you use Cam Reed example again, too. When he was away, I feel like he got a bit more pulled down more minutes, and, he all of a sudden became more of the guy, right? That they could lean on, and he thrived in those moments.
Yeah, he never had a problem taking extra minutes on the ice.
Yeah.
Never a problem. All right, Andrew, who's your first star?
Listen, I gave away the second star. I can't give away the first star. The first star is Sam O'Reilly. Peanut came into this. The bottom line is he's the winningest OHL player of all time, from as far as I can tell. In the modern era, I haven't been able to find a player between individual awards and multiple championships to match what he's accomplished. It's hard once you go back past like 95. It starts to get a little hard to tell, but he seems like he's the most winningest player. Which is how we do it on the AudPod. He seems like it. It seems like it.
Close enough.
But the bottom line is,
if I'm wrong.
Correct me. And you know what? Someone will. Someone right now is typing. Bill Simmons in 1968 to 1972 won everything and played goal.
Thanks, AI.
Exactly. Yeah. Bots in our comments.
And then created the Ringer. mean,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
let her run.
Yeah,
And 30 for 30.
Exactly right. Now he's super rich. Sponsor our pod, Bill. No, yeah, Peanut. I mean, what can you say? What I will say about him is there's been a lot of talk about, you guys better thank London. Well, you got draft picks back, right?
Yeah.
That was the thanks. You right? I don't have to thank you for anything. You traded a generational London Knight away to us, and he got better. That's the bottom line. Is he achieved the peak of his abilities as a Kitchener Ranger. That's the clip right there. Yeah, and you just see, commentating team in London.
Worth every one of those 10 draft picks, I think.
Yeah,
sent
exactly.
Over,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Whatever.
Give him
at
10
this-
more. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, worth it.
1,000%. And, if there's a FanDuel parlay bet to be made, he's going to be on the Tampa Bay Lightning roster next year.
Yeah.
I think it's, he's just.
Can't
top-
believe
top-
Edmonton
oh,
traded
don't
him.
even start. Don't even
believe-
start with
Talk
me.
about, talk
I
about
mean, I don't
boys.
like Tampa Bay either, but at least it's not in Edmonton.
When you talk about boys will be boys, he's a man among boys. Quite
yeah.
frankly, he oozes NHL level confidence, and he's going to make that jump, in my opinion.
Well, just
pretty quickly.
coming here to Kitchener after all those years against Kitchener, now they're the rival. Just buying into the system right away just shows what a pro him and Jared Woolley are.
yeah,
'cause
totally.
That had to be the most awkward first day on the job for both those guys, but they realized what was at hand. There's a championship to be won. That's why Sam and Jared were helped take Kitchener over the top. And they did that. Double MVP for Sam O'Reilly. Regular season and postseason.
Yeah.
Right?
And another OHL championship. I mean,
and perhaps more.
Another more. Yeah, could be more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
He's going to have to build a big trophy room.
I was just going to say, better make room on the mantle. A bit more. Anyways.
No, if you want to talk poor asset management, you brought it up. You jump up into the first round to take him with the 32nd pick, and then you trade him at the beginning of this season, right? Because you want to get a more ready player. I'm going to argue that I think Sam O'Reilly might be more ready at the start of next season. Than what they got in return.
I don't think there's going to be debate on the first star here. I think
all the way around.
Then we all be crazy to be
a
like
unanimous one. Yeah.
I mean, UC's hair always the number one star.
I know.
Of the Kitchener Rangers team.
Yes, and we did have a chance to talk to UC about his nickname on the pod, which I don't know if you're aware of, is the Juice, or formerly was
the Juice.
As I brought it up to him the second time I met him. Basically, it was, no, it's a bad nickname, terrible nickname. And then he was like, And I was like, he's laughing. But I'm never going to say that again. So,
He's now the coach or the champ.
Yeah, exactly.
The amount of likes my comment got, I think it was the OHL post when they dumped the Gatorade on him and he was smiling. I was like, UC smiled. People from Finland were all like, yes, he is smiling. That's good. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah. No, Finland mentioned. Finland doesn't love the AudPod because we were very outspoken about Oscar Hemming. So, but that's great though. Here's our metrics boost.
Finland, you got good coach from Finland.
We love Finland.
Yeah, Saku Koivu.
Just not Kiekko Espo.
Yeah, Best Boopers were not fans.
No.
But yeah, has to be Sam, right?
Yeah.
For all of us.
It's unreal.
I mean,
It's a no-brainer.
I did say mine was the coaching staff, so I guess I'm taking an L on that one. But
I think so. Sam was just, he was everywhere all at once, right? Like it was both ends of the ice.
You could tell when he was on the ice without even having to look.
I know.
That's when that kind of presence about him, right?
Yeah.
Winning all those face-offs. There was one point, I
the
can't remember what
face-offs are
game it was,
insane.
but it's like he won more face-offs himself than Barry as a whole.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He did.
I think that was game 4.
Yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah, he won something like 32 face-offs, and Barry had less. It was insane. He won 57.1% of the draws that he took, and he took over 500 draws.
Yeah.
What? Like it's like if he had won 50% or 51%, that would be like, wow, incredible to take that many draws and win that many times, because you're taking it against a different person all throughout these different playoffs. And yet, almost 60% of the draws he won. And I'd love to see how many defensive zone draws he won, because I feel like those ones he was so like almost automatic. Like it was like, oh yeah, no, it's okay. We're gonna have possession here.
Well, it was always great to be like, well, Sam's in the face-off circle. I mean, that's
Yeah.
unless he gets kicked out
Yeah.
because they
Which
dropped
also
the
rarely
puck.
happens with him.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
such a
Yeah.
focused.
Oh,
like,
well, it's
Well,
ice
that's-
in the veins.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like I just appreciate how much he just wants to win.
yes.
You know, I'm a bit of an old soul, and I'm not, flashy players. There's so many out there, but he's another throwback. Just he wants to win at the end of the day, and maybe it has something to do with his small town roots. I think it's Cochrane from up north that he's from before he came down to the GTA to really start his hockey career. But I just got so much time for watching him, and I'm excited to see where he progresses.
Well, yeah, and he could care less about the individual awards. Like there'd be so
Exactly.
many people who are like, oh
Exactly.
man, I've won this individual award. Great. Like he wanted the OHL Championship again. That was the only trophy you could see. Like, okay, actual smiling because he helped this team earn it and do something they haven't done in 18 years.
and he put the team on his back in a lot of
Yeah.
ways too. And boy, he can carry the load.
And it was fitting too. He got the empty netter. Like how many empty netters
know.
did
I
he
know.
get in the
I know.
postseason? Like it was like when you knew.
But
there
also,
was-
also the double dinker.
yeah.
The
yeah.
post to post that he
Post to
missed.
post.
I bet that just ate at him.
Yeah.
It ate at me because as a Chicago Bears fan, the double
gonna
doink,
say-
connotation to the double doink.
The
So,
double doink, yeah.
But that was when I was willing to celebrate.
It wasn't an illusion that time.
No, right? Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was an unbelievable run, unbelievable acquisition. I mean, to see what he did and think that he was available, to think that he could be brought in, just massive big brain stuff out of Mike McKenzie to be.
It's great for Mike McKenzie, who should also probably be a star because he went 5 for 5 on his trades.
Yes.
But there's also credit to London
Yeah.
for willing to give those guys to Kitchener, their arch rival,
Well,
when
exactly.
they knew maybe they didn't have the team this year. Obviously, they're going to rebuild for next year and probably be the Knights again, but that's in the future. They realized, let's give these guys a chance to
Yeah.
do something and win a game.
Well, it was
Even-
definitely selfless
Yeah.
for them in the
Classy
sense
move,
of,
for sure.
of that, like, they knew that they were sending him to a stacked team and both of them and it was literally like down the highway, biggest rival, or according to them, Windsor's their biggest rival, but I think they just say that to upset us. But
There's no way they actually believe that.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm online. Yeah, I have a Kitchener Rangers podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also too, like your first game against London, you scored an overtime winner
Oh,
in London.
Yeah. And then I saw it. It wasn't that game, but there was one later on where we won it and he grabbed the jersey and I was like, oh, he's a Ranger.
Right? That
Yeah.
was game one, I think, against Windsor or something
Yeah,
like that in the
yeah.
conference finals. And I was like, he's one of us now.
Yeah.
He loves this team.
One
Yeah,
of us.
yeah, exactly.
One of us. The peanut gallery moved to Kitchener.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, with all of that winning,
Yeah.
comes another tournament.
Yeah.
It's true.
When you win the championship, you go to the Memorial Cup, which starts when this podcast comes out tonight.
Yeah.
Late tonight because it's in Kelowna. So the Rangers play Friday, May 22nd, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, what do you got? I barely know anything about the Memorial Cup because this is a whole new thing for me. What about you guys? Like, what's the Memorial Cup mean?
Well, it's obviously probably the hardest tournament to win because it's so short. You have to basically play flawless throughout everything. And you're playing a bunch of teams that you don't know anything about other than some tape you may have seen going into this because you're focused on your own playoff run to get to this dance, other than being like the host, because you're obviously get the automatic bid in. But it's a tough tournament. But this is where I think Kitchener's they've got two guys that have been in this tournament, and last year they won the tournament in Sam O'Reilly and Jared Woolley. So there's a big X factor for Kitchener trying to win their first Memorial Cup since 2003.
Yeah. I think Everett, they were number one in the country for most of the CHL rankings throughout the season. They're obviously a quality hockey team, but how can you say anything against the Rangers this time around? If there's going to be a year that you're going to say, they're going to be Mem Cup champs again, this has got to be it, right? So, it's always a fun tournament to watch, to Jason's point, just a lot of hockey in a short period of time, but it's going to be a challenge in the respect that you're trying to scout teams that you really haven't watched through the course of the year. Like, it's obviously a lot easier to watch teams in your own league and with more regularity. That film crew is going to be having a lot of homework and a lot of long hours, I think, if they haven't already, up until like landing in Kelowna in that very first game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the schedule works out for Kitchener too. They got the first game against the host Kelowna, and then Saturday, Sunday off, so even more time to prep. And they can watch, what Chicoutimi and
Everett,
yeah,
Everett,
are able to do.
Yeah.
And I think, especially scouting Everett, I think Everett will be a team that is other than Kitchener, has a real good chance at winning the Memorial Cup.
Yeah, there's some scary numbers on Everett. Like one that I'm looking at right now is they have basically a tandem goalie through the season, but their guy they rode with for 18 games, Anders Miller, he had a 932 and a 1.91.
Yeah.
So like sounds like that might be their MO a little bit, is to play shutdown, which will be interesting because no team has truly really shut down the Rangers to this point. So that'll be probably what they're looking to do. I don't think, they're probably comparable a little bit as far as depth. I don't think they have the high-end scoring that the Rangers do, because what I will say about Sam O'Reilly is even his point totals don't really reflect the jump between the London production this year and the Kitchener production. And the same goes for like Dylan Edwards, right? He's just scoring at such a crazy clip that if he had played every game with the Rangers, we're looking at, definitely a 100-point season. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is when you look at these squads, Kitchener has 12 NHL prospects on their team. That is the most out of anyone in this tournament. And I think that plays a factor. You need elite level players to come through in this short tournament, this short span, how hard and competitive this hockey is going to be. And a lot of these guys have now been through a lot of playoffs. And as we said, some of these guys have Memorial Cup experience. And I think that's a huge benefit for Kitchener heading into the Memorial Cup, which begins Thursday.
And they even have guys that like not necessarily like that are so skilled both ways. Like to me, like I watched, like Humps and Prids played a lot of hockey and they weren't necessarily relied upon to score. Like that wasn't really what they were doing out there throughout the entirety of the playoffs. They did have, basically point per game production, both of them, but like they were also just like dogging guys, going back the other way, making it hard. I mean, they're not huge players. Like Prids has got some size on Humps, but like they were grinding guys out along the boards. They were back checking. Prids kills penalties and is a threat. Like to me, it's like there's Rangers fans who were talking about Pridham only having 2 goals in the playoff run. He was still a point per.
He was still a top 4 player for Kitchener in the postseason.
I know, and that's the thing is he took 76 shots. Yeah. Sometimes they just don't go in. Yeah. And so if he's going, this is what the storyline I love. He's going back to Kelowna, which is where he came from. You don't think he's ready and motivated to play in Kelowna? Like this is the storybook ending of like. Can you he didn't even think, when he was coming back here and he's like, no, I'm going to stay and I'm going to come back to Kitchener. He never even thought, I mean, the whole team was, 2027. Yeah. He wasn't even going to be here for it. Yeah. But yet they've made it and he's going back to Kelowna. I don't know. I'd love to see, Prids get going and scoring. But at the same time, I saw, such great, stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet from him and Ellis and Humps. And I have to shout out Ellis and Arquette. These guys are just guys that heroes. They just play so hard both ways at all times. They fully buy in. They don't need to be the hero. And that's we talked about Sam O'Reilly doing that and being, he doesn't care about the individual awards. I think that's the Rangers culture. Because when we talked to Prids in the offseason, he said, I just want to win. Yeah. And I think that's the whole squad is like that.
Yeah. Well, that's why he came back, right? Because he believed this team had a chance to do something. Little did he know, what would happen, obviously. But, he decommitted from a really good NCAA program at BU to come back to Kitchener, which helped his game. And you've seen, how even just 1 year in Kitchener, Christian Humphreys went from being a good prospect for the Avalanche to being the most improved prospect for Colorado in their rookie camps before the season came out. And now what's Christian Humphreys? He scored the game-winning goal to give Kitchener an OHL championship, and I couldn't be more happy for someone like Christian Humphreys to have that success. And he's going to do big things next year in the NCAA. I know he's back for Minnesota going next year, but a
great program as well. To land back on his feet in Minnesota. I mean, if there's
in the Big Ten too.
Right. If there's not a argument to come to the OHL and succeed, if you're kind of a fringe in-betweener at NCAA when you're young, just come here and put in work and win a championship, right? You know what I mean?
It's easy. It's so easy.
But seriously, if you get
Sarnia knows.
If you get in Kitchener, you get in London, you get in Windsor, you get in these, these are incredible organizations to develop talent.
Yeah.
Whether you win or not, only one team wins. But
it's as close to pro level as you can get without playing pro here in Kitchener specifically. And there are markets obviously similar. The Londons and Windsors of the world too. I lump in Oshawa, there's bigger markets like that. But what better litmus test in terms of finding success, places like this, to then carry over and advance your career.
Yeah, and the league as a whole, I think, realizes that. And that's why they're kind of marketing that.
Right.
It's like, obviously, maybe the older players are going to bounce, will play some NCAA hockey, but you can get your best development, in your 17, 18 right here in the OHL, takes your game to another level. Then sure, maybe that NCAA avenue is there, or you stay in junior hockey, but you're going to be a much better player for it for having been in the OHL. And these teams like Kitchener, London, they're improving every aspect of their facility. Every team really is doing that. They're doing everything to improve, to keep players around so that they can grow their game.
For a couple of years at least, then go get that nil money. And, that's what
Why
you're
not?
going to do, right?
Why not? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Cash in a little.
It kind of feels like if you can, if it's good enough for Sam O'Reilly to play like 19-year-old year in the O and then make the jump, Sam O'Reilly, if he wanted the NIL money, he can write a check now basically to himself and go play anywhere, but he's not going to even have to. So I just think that I know we've kind of transitioned into this NCAA chat a little bit, but ultimately I just think that this run and this this team especially, and this Memorial Cup where we're going to see some incredible prospects on some of these other teams as well. It's just kind of the CHL is fine. It's going to be fine.
Well, that's the thing. It's you're setting yourself up. If you're a fringe NHL or a pro player, the OHL is going to set you up to at least have those potential opportunities to play at the collegiate level, maybe obviously get some cash your way. And it could be the most significant contract you get, maybe in some respects. Yeah. But you wouldn't have gotten there had you not had the 1 or 2 years in the O or the CHL, wherever you might be first.
Plus, it's a league that may be younger now with the CHL import draft, and you can now take 16-year-olds in that league. So, I mean, it's only going to get better from 16 to 18. Yeah. And I think the hockey's just going to get better, a little bit different. And I think the CHL maybe realizes okay, we're not going to be for, those 19, 20-year-olds, those overagers, but we got to pivot a little bit, but that's what you got to do to be successful. Sometimes you got to just transition your marketing a little bit. And I think, as you said, the CHL will be fine. Everyone calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there is a way, to your point, for both to coexist essentially, but that just, they're starting to figure that out, I think, just now.
Yeah. And I think there's some guys who I think are using these commitments as leverages to get the pro deal, right? Because now you can't, if you sign the pro deal, you can't go NCAA and vice versa, right? Yeah. So it's one of those things that it's good for the player, and ultimately I'm a pro player guy, I'm a pro individual, get your money while you can do it, because you never know when that injury is coming, careers. God forbid, right? And ultimately we've seen so many guys who've ripped it up and not ever really gotten the bag, because something happens. And so, if you can get the bag in college, or you can force a team to be all right, entry-level contract, that's life-changing money. Even if, you have a 3-4 year pro career, and then you jump to Europe, because you have that on your resume that you signed a 3-year entry-level deal, and maybe it didn't work out, but you can still be a professional hockey player.
Yeah. I mean, I felt the same way about that for the college football side of thing before the NIL. It's this prospect, he's going to go first round and then tears his ACL in a game and never hear from him again, or doesn't make near as much money. So I'm happy that option is there for some players, but it's a changing world that seems to still be changing even as we're speaking about this right now. But CHL is going to be fine. NCAA hockey is going to be fine, and better for having these guys that have been in the OHL come back playing college hockey in the States.
Totally.
Yeah, 100%. It's nice to see the guys who just want to play hockey in the best leagues that they can.
Yeah,
get
good
to play. Yeah,
good for us.
That's what I want to watch.
As UC would say, it's good.
Yeah, it's cool. Good.
Yeah. All in all.
All in all.
I keep telling Jason that's got to be on a T-shirt somewhere.
All in all.
That would be a good shirt, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm putting royalty dibs on that one.
Yeah.
I guess UC tech
with the J. Ross Robertson.
I think the hope is like a
give him a cut.
Yes. Nothing we do is original. So Sean made sure that when we tried to lay claim to the Andalorian, and we didn't even watch the Star Wars broadcast, and then we got time stamped.
Yeah, we got receipts.
Yeah, we got receipts. So
never living it down.
So now we claim nothing.
Yeah.
To Sean's credit, always credit your sources.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for this preview episode of the Memorial Cup, wrap up of the OHL Championship. Like,
I don't think we've wrapped up with our pick for the.
Yeah,
we talk about the Mem Cup.
Yeah,
are Rangers winning this thing?
Yeah.
I think you got our picks, but what do you guys feel?
Let
how's this gonna go down?
Everett, I think might.
It's
second. Yeah.
Can it be Kitchener in 4 games? Because I think that's what I'm calling.
It can be Kitchener in 4 games. In fact, if everything goes well, it's Kitchener in 4 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kitchener in 4.
Yeah.
Well,
why not?
they did. I was out at an establishment yesterday, and they did have the replay of last year's championship game when who was the only player I saw on the screen? Sam O'Reilly, when he was in those green London or those white and green London jerseys.
Those
But
Subway Eat Fresh.
The Eat Fresh ones.
Yeah.
he played fresh this year, though.
He played fresh. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he truly is an artist.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, Rangers in 4.
Yeah.
Rangers in 4. Yeah. 10 straight.
10 straight.
10 straight. Yeah, nice. It will be a little hard for me when they start talking about Iginla with the puck, and it's gonna ruin my brain. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to watching Kitchener play these games. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining us on the pod, and glad that we could finally get you out here. And
thanks for the invite. Let's do it again.
Yeah,
of
of
course.
course.
Fun. Let's do it.
Yeah, this is a great way to recap. I'm sick of hearing Andrew's
I
voice.
know. Well,
We did like
sick of you
22
just
episodes during the
nodding and-
playoffs. Oh my god.
A lot of car
nodding and
pods.
laughing.
Yeah.
He's the
The
ultimate
car
yes man for me,
Yeah.
which is great for me, but not so great for him.
Terrible for me.
Well,
Yeah.
it's nice that we could do this not in someone's car.
Well,
Yeah.
But I will tell you that there is a very large car seat in a not so large car. And so for all of those episodes, my knees were implanted into the dashboard. I was like, cool. And I'm like, if you really notice the framing, I'm like trying to like get my head into the frame on those episodes. So I'm probably the most grateful that we're
I
not
was
in a car.
All right, we gotta, of course, we just gotta shout out Tim, our editor,
Tim.
who had appendicitis during the finals. So
Yes, he did.
that was like a whole thing. So
Still
thank you,
managed
Tim.
still managed to follow along and enjoy the win.
Get well,
Yeah.
Tim. That
Yeah.
sounds brutal.
He seems fine now.
He's
so
fine.
yeah, he's gonna edit
He's
this one again.
okay.
He's back.
Yeah, he's fine.
He only missed one episode,
You don't
which was
even
pretty
need
impressive.
an appendix. It's,
Just tape yourself up and get back out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to JJ for doing the intro to the
course,
episode. It's been so fun being able to hang out with JJ a little bit.
Are those the
during-
video game intros, by the way? The visual graphics, or
the ones that we put on Instagram?
Yeah.
They're like, we make the
we make
like
those in Canva, but JJ does our introduction on the pod. So
Yeah.
we used to have this recording of me, and it was like pitched down, and it's very obviously my voice, right? And it was, but JJ randomly actually, it was a group of them were hanging out, and like the Rangers diehards, and they sent us a voice note of JJ doing the intro, like from memory, and we were like, can we use it?
yeah.
Because it's better.
Yeah, it's so
in
much
both
better.
respects, mad props for that.
Yeah.
So
they
now-
both look great.
So now that's our
Go
intro.
JJ.
Yeah. So, and we got to hang out with her a bit during the finals. Like we saw her in Barrie. We saw her lots at the Odd, which was
Pictures.
super fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And shout out to the Kitchener Public Library for hosting us once again.
100%. Love the KPL.
Right?
Yeah.
Where the OudPod is never overdue.
No.
Wow. Put a button on it, Jay.
And episode.
Scene.
Yeah, scene. Thank you.